Have you ever wondered what would happen if the land and sea swapped places on Earth? An unusual question, isn't it? It might seem like an impossible scenario, something straight out of a science fiction novel. Yet, it's a fascinating concept to ponder. What if our continents became oceans, and our oceans turned into vast, sprawling lands? How would that change our planet, our lives, and the world as we know it? So without further ado, let's dive into the deep end of this hypothetical scenario. Imagine for a moment the world as we know it turned upside down, land becomes sea and sea becomes land. In the blink of an eye, the familiar landscapes of our planet would be unrecognizable. The initial effects of this monumental swap would be nothing short of cataclysmic. Coastal cities that once bustled with life would disappear beneath the waves, replaced by the vast expanse of the ocean. The towering skyscrapers, the historic monuments, the intricate networks of streets and highways, all would be submerged in a watery abyss. Meanwhile, the world beneath the waves would rise to the surface. Underwater mountains, hidden for eons beneath the ocean's surface, would pierce the sky, creating new and imposing landmasses. The Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean, would transform into a towering mountain range, higher than Mount Everest. The Great Barrier Reef, once a vibrant spectacle of marine life, might transform into a vast, colorful desert. Our planet's geography would be redrawn. The continents and oceans as we know them would cease to exist, replaced by a completely new arrangement of land and water. New continents would form from the ocean floor, while our existing land masses would now be submerged, forming new oceans. This dramatic reshuffling of the Earth's surface would also lead to a significant loss of habitats. Forests, grasslands, and deserts would be replaced by the open ocean. Meanwhile, the variety of marine habitats, from coral reefs to deep-sea trenches, would be exposed to the air and sun, their conditions drastically altered. The consequences for the Earth's biodiversity would be catastrophic. Many species, both terrestrial and marine, would face extinction, unable to adapt to these sudden, radical changes in their environment. Suddenly our familiar world would look alien, wouldn't it? This scenario might seem like the stuff of science fiction, but it serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance that exists on our planet, a balance that we, as inhabitants, have a responsibility to maintain. Imagine for a moment the world as we know it turned upside down. Land becomes sea and sea becomes land. But what about life on Earth? Now that's a question that really stirs the imagination. Picture this. Marine life, accustomed to the vast, deep oceans, suddenly finding themselves in shallow pools and rivers, or perhaps even on dry land. It's a drastic change and not all would be able to survive. Many species might die out, unable to cope with the sudden lack of water and the new predators that come with it. And what about the terrestrial animals, creatures that have evolved to roam the land, now submerged underwater? The land-dwelling organisms would have to adapt to a life beneath the waves. Many of these species would also face extinction, but some might not only survive but thrive in this new environment. Think about it, a herd of deer might evolve into a group of graceful swimmers, while predatory cats might become the new sharks of the sea. But it's not just about survival, it's about evolution. Life on Earth has a knack for adapting to changes, no matter how drastic they might be. Over millions of years we might see the emergence of new species, each adapted to their new environment in unique and fascinating ways. The ocean floors could become a new kind of jungle, teeming with a diverse array of life forms, while the former land surfaces might become a new kind of desert, inhabited by hardy creatures, evolved to withstand the harsh conditions. The swapping of land and sea would undoubtedly be a cataclysmic event, causing mass extinctions and reshaping the Earth's biosphere in ways we can hardly imagine. But life is tenacious. It clings on, it adapts, and it evolves. It takes the lemons that the universe throws at it and makes lemonade. And that's the beauty of life on Earth. Despite all the hardships, despite all the changes, it perseveres. It evolves and adapts, always finding new ways to survive and thrive. And so, even in a world turned upside down, with land and sea swapped, life would continue. It might be different, it might be strange, but it would be life. Life, as it seems, always finds a way. Scene script, let's not forget about the Earth's climate. Now, imagine this. The vast expansion of water replacing land would drastically alter our planet's climate. The increased surface area of the ocean would lead to a surge in evaporation. With more water vapor in the air, the planet would see a significant increase in rainfall. This could result in a world much wetter than the one we know today. But it's not just about more rain. The increased evaporation could also fuel more powerful and frequent storms. Imagine hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones becoming the norm rather than the exception. These extreme weather events, powered by the additional heat and moisture from the expanded oceans, could wreak havoc on our new land-sea world. And let's not overlook the potential for tsunamis. With most of the Earth's land now underwater, any seismic activity could trigger massive tidal waves, far more destructive than anything we've seen in our current world. Also, the redistribution of heat across the planet would be dramatically different. With less land to absorb sunlight and more water to distribute heat, the temperature variations we're used to might become a thing of the past. We could be looking at a far more uniform but also much more unpredictable global climate. In this topsy-turvy world, we'd be dealing with a whole new set of climatic challenges. Our planet's climate would be in a state of chaos. So what would our new world look like? Picture this. Oceans, once vast and deep, transformed into towering mountain ranges with valleys filled by lakes. Land masses, once home to sprawling cities and lush forests, now submerged and taken over by a new marine life. Life, as we know it, would need to adapt dramatically. Entire ecosystems would shift, creating a new order of biodiversity. New species would rise, adapted to the altered landscape and climate, while others may vanish into the annals of history. The climate would be in chaos. Weather patterns would shift, storms would become more frequent and more intense, and the Earth's temperature could swing wildly from the familiar. Our new world would be alien, yet familiar, a testament to the resiliency of life and the ever-changing nature of our planet. While this scenario is purely hypothetical, it encourages us to appreciate the delicate balance that currently exists on our beautiful planet.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. That's all for Nifty Narration.